Hey there everyone, Hitesh here, and some of you might be in a super hurry and will say, hey, don't throw these basic functions at me, just show me directly the arrow functions and the most advanced stuff. I'm sorry to say, but I have to follow a curriculum so that everybody can learn. And if you're in that much hurry, I already got a previous old CDs, go ahead, watch that. But we're gonna follow the curriculum, enjoy the learning process, and have fun with JavaScript, which is the most important thing. So let's come to the topic, and because of this topic, I'm not able to talk too much about JavaScript in detail and behind the scene because function is the most foundational block in JavaScript. And you might also see a lot of time a term is being thrown, which is functional programming. And I think JavaScript supports a whole lot of functional programming. I do have a separate video on functional programming, but please do not watch it right now. This is not a good time. I'll mention that whenever there is a good time to watch it. So now let's see that how the functions are actually gonna work. I'm into a new file, new folder effectively, which is 03 intermediate. Yes, we are in the intermediate level already, and we're going to be talking in 01 functions.js. So functions is basically a block of code which is separated out so that it can be reused again and again. And many times the functionality part is being thrown away in a separate file so that we can write all the function or the usability part there, and then we can bring them up in the file and can use it again and again. For example, let's just say you have a simple function, and this is how we declare a function with the proper keyword function, then the name of function, which can be in this case say hello. And it can be anything, and usually I prefer these kinds of casing for the functions as well. Then you put up a pair of parentheses and then you start a block of code. How do we do that? Yes, you know that already. This is a block of code, and that's where you write all the syntax. Now the advantage is, for example, if I just go ahead and write a simple console log and I just say hello there, and I need to wrap this up inside the parentheses, there we go. And I want to say, hey there, okay, come on, let's write it one more time. Hello there, Hitesh. There we go. Now the advantage of writing this, just assume this is not just a one line of code, probably 10 lines of code or probably 100 lines of code. And this exact functionality is something which I want to bring 2 times in my application. I don't have to repeat my code again and again. I can just simply say hello, and just like this. Now there is a big difference. When we will be working with the DOM, many times you're going to see that sometimes it says say hello like this, and sometimes with the parentheses. Now there is a difference between referencing a function and calling a function. Whenever you want to call a function, then you put a parenthesis. Whenever you just want to refer to a function, then we call it without the parenthesis. This becomes a building block and foundational in many of the frameworks and libraries like React and Vue, but right now let's not go too much in depth. Right now, let's just go very simple and run this program, and we see that hello there Hitesh is being printed out 2 times. Okay, makes sense. Pretty easy. Keyword functions, some name, parentheses, and block of code. Moving it to a bit more next step would be, I just don't want to hard code the values here. I want that somebody just gives me a value here and I can just print that out. Now I'm going to duplicate this line and we'll show you the difference here. What usually you can do, there are a couple of options in front of you. You can just go ahead and say hello there, and you can just write a name here, and that's it. Now what is going to happen? That's the most important thing. Now let's run this as it is so that you can again get a bit more of in-depth of undefined as well. Notice it here says hello there Hitesh. That's the first line number 2 output coming in the call of function at line number 6. But here it says after that hello there undefined. This is coming from line number 3 where it says hello there, but since you never passed on the value of the name, it is still undefined. It's like a variable being defined but never being used. This is the most important distinction that you should know. So I'm going to just give it a name here. So let's just say I'm going to give my name here in the lowercase, and I'm going to give another name here, and let's just say we are going to call this one as Sammy. There we go. And we are going to run this one again, and this time we see hello there Hitesh. This is hard-coded value at line number 2. The next one, which is in the lowercase letter, this is not the hard-coded value. Then we get again hard-coded value and the semi. So 2 functions are being called like this. But is it my favorite way of using these variables? Probably not. Especially in 2020 versions of JavaScript, you probably want to avoid this thing. How you want to go with that is something with the backticks, which is a very common scenario. So here I would say hello there, and then use the $sign and these curly braces. I'm going to say name. And the advantage is I can keep on writing the name or the entire line just like a regular thing. So hello there, Hitesh, and I'm going to say, how are you? There we go. And just using this syntax, it makes things much more readable, much more easier to inject whenever or how many times I want to inject these variables. It's a bit more friendly, and here I don't have to change anything at all. So if I clean up the things, it just works exactly same. Now we have a bit more lines here, but this is a way better and my favorite syntax. So I highly recommend to not use the variable name just by separating a comma. Instead, get in the practice of using these dollars and all these curly braces. Again, different libraries and frameworks have their different way of displaying the variables, but this is the most common way you're going to see a whole lot around. Okay. Now, one last thing that I would like to show up here is first I'm going to comment these two calls, and I would like to move on to another function here. So let's go ahead and declare another function. Now, what should I call this function? Let's just call this as Namaste, which is a greetings in India. Now, in the above function, I was doing console.log, but now I'm going to do something new, a new keyword, which is return. Now, what I want to return is a simple text which says hello in India. Now, this might be very, very familiar to you, but for a lot of people who are learning programming for the first time, it's important that you know the fact that calling a function with return keyword and console logging the things are two different things. Since so far we have been dumping down everything into the console log, it might be really tough to just get what's going to happen next. Nothing is going to happen here. So let's just run this and we see no output. The reason for that is we are calling this successfully, but we are never saying just print this value. We are just saying return me this string. What to do with the return value, we never actually mentioned that. Now here comes another interesting thing. We can just create a variable, call it as greetings, and we can hold whatever the value is being returned from the execution of this function. We can store that in a variable, and then I can go ahead and simply say, hey, I want to log the value of this greetings and save that. And now I'm explicitly mentioning that whatever the value comes in, just print that value. So that's why I'm able to see the value. Notice here, console logging the things and returning the values are two very, very different things. And also what we can do is if I just go ahead and make a copy of this, I can actually run this function directly inside the console log too, avoiding the use of a variable here, and that also works. But this brings the fact, which we're going to discuss later on, this is moreover a part of functional programming. Told you, we like to throw a whole lot of gibberish everywhere. And now when I walked you through the flow, it was like a very next nature to know. But yes, this is a part of functional programming where we treat functions as just like a variable, but there is a lot more that we can discuss here. And I'll be throwing up these advanced feature a little bit inside a mix here so that you don't get freak out when I actually introduce you the concept. So it's much more easier that way. Okay, so in this one, let me quickly summarize. We talked about a bit on how functions are declared in JavaScript, simple name, some of the parameters can be passed on, and a whole bunch of other things. We also learned that there is a difference between return and there is a difference between console logging, and we just had some fun by storing the entire value of a function inside a variable, and it was super fun. Now we are going to have a little bit of the practice with functions, because functions is where the confusion, the entirety of the confusion in JavaScript starts. Once you have a solid foundation in the functions, life is going to be much more easier for you, and we're going to have a bit more practice on it as well. So I hope you're enjoying it and you have already hit that subscribe button. Let's go ahead and catch up in next video.